Yo, what's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Ryan from the Six. What's good, everybody? Sorry for showing up late. You know what it is. It's summertime, summer break. Got the kids home today. I just had to get them some lunch and get them all, straightened out before I go live. But you know what it is, man. We talking boxing. It was a good weekend. A lot of boxing this weekend. So, I mean, lots to talk about. Um, you know, definitely the Jake Paul fiasco. That was a big topic. A lot, just going on and Billy winning. There's actually two cards in Quebec. There was the Mbilli card on Friday night, and then on Saturday night there was a John Pascal card. So shout out to John Pascal who got back in the ring and try to get the interim title at cruiserweight. So I thought that was interesting that that fight was sanctioned like that. Nonetheless, it is what it is, man. Boxing. We got a lot of these weird matchups, but shout out to everybody for tuning in, man. Shout out to everybody for coming through and showing some love. You know what it is, man. Let's get into it. Make sure you smash the like button when you get in. Make sure you share, subscribe to the channel, and show love.
Did not really fight her.
Oh, big right hand! One punch! That is it! Forget about the count. It is over.
Yeah, you know what it is, man. Shout out to Ann Wolf, legendary, man. We got the big woman's card coming up this month or in July. Sorry, last day of June, but in July we got that coming up. We got actually July is gonna be a hot month for boxing. It's probably gonna be one of the best months for boxing in a long time, man. I mean, I can't think of anything like this in a while, but we got something coming up, and us as boxing fans, we should all appreciate it, and we should all love it, man. Like, shout out to everybody for contributing to the sport because it's been a good year so far. I think this year in boxing has been really good. Last year was great, man, and I think this year's kind of like we moving the needle, man. Every year it's getting better and better. You can't complain with it, man. But this is boxing, man. It went through a little, I would say, a down period, a very short down period. But now it looked like we might be almost on the other side of the hill where we starting to come back up. It's a roller coaster ride, man, and I feel like we starting to get the matchups we want to see. We starting to get a lot of the promoters working together. We're starting to get a lot of different things in boxing that we weren't getting, the last 5 6 years. Like, shout out to Top Rank, but they talking about doing their own streaming thing. I think that is the way to go. If you can't give it to us, what I'm saying, on the zone, hopefully they can make it affordable. Preferably, I'd like them to be on YouTube like ProBox. That'd be awesome, man. If they can get on YouTube, get a YouTube deal and be on YouTube like ProBox, that'd be dope for Top Rank. But it just looks like they're going in a direction of streaming their own platform, and that's all right for Top Rank. I mean, as long as they got it all figured out and got the kinks figured out, and it's not going to cost us crazy money, I'm with it, man. As long as they do their own thing. But shout out to Christian and Billy. He stopped Soseki, with that huge uppercut to win the WBC interim title. Turkey Al Sheik was definitely, obviously, probably had his eye on this fight because he's been interested in Billy fighting Lester Martinez, as he's named. Well, not him. A lot of people are rumoring the fight being on that November card where we just got that big fight announced between Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. So, I mean, if you can get Billy and Lester Martinez on the undercard for the WBC interim title, yo, that's awesome, man. That's an awesome fight. That's an action fight. Two guys who like to bang. I think Billy would definitely take the fight. I think Lester would also take the fight, and I think it'd be a great fight. You know, they're not the biggest names in the division, but they're dangerous guys. They got punching power, both of them. Man, I don't know who wins that fight, Lester Martinez and Christian and Billy. I think Lester Martinez, though he has less fights, he's probably fought just as much. Or I guess Derevchenko was a good opponent, but Lester Martinez hasn't been in there with the former champ. but he's fought good opponents. Like he's been on that pro box, matchmaking. They give him tough guys who have zero losses. They try to test him, and I thought Lester Martinez so far has passed every test that pro box threw at him. And yeah, Christian and Billy and him, that'd be an action fight. That'd be a great fight for both men. Whoever walks away from that fight, man, would obviously think they would get Canelo Alvarez, but I think getting Canelo is kind of like it's a tough thing right now because Canelo looks like he's on his farewell tour, looks like he's going on out. And at this point, I just think Canelo Alvarez is not looking to defend legacy belts. He's not taking, how do we say it, legacy defining fights at this point because it's kind of past him. He's kind of done that already. He's put in the groundwork. So I think at this point, Christian and Billy and Lester Martinez are not probably on Canelo's high list. But if they do get the fight, the winner, that'd be impressive. I mean, I'd be shocked, man, because I really think that Canelo, if he gets past Bud Crawford, he's probably gonna want to do something in Mexico, a big fight, a big Riyadh season in Mexico. He said he wants to do a fight in the UK, and then who else knows where he could fight? He's been to Japan, expressed Japan. I just don't know if we get to see Canelo fight, you know, even David Benavidez. I don't even know if we get to see that Canelo and David Benavidez because I think at this point Canelo, like I said, he's on a farewell tour. He's gonna go do some things he hasn't got to do yet. And the UK arena fight or stadium fight is one of them. I think he does the Mexico stadium again, and then maybe one other one, and then he bows out. This is all if he beats Crawford. If he loses to Crawford, I think he's got to go back and try to get that win. I think he circles back around, tries to get Crawford win. But we'll see, man. Christian and Billy, Lester Martinez, that's a great fight. They're gonna have their work cut out for them. I think the winner of that fight should just look to fight the others in the division, the other 68 pounders with names. I think Canelo Alvarez at this point, like I said, he's not a guy who's gonna be fighting mandatories or picking those guys to fight. He's gonna be picking other opposition, other guys. And that's just where he's at. And that's boxing politics, y'all. That's what that is. We can't really go around it. It's just in boxing every day. You got to learn to embrace it. I hate saying that because we should never have to embrace anything like that. But this is where we're at, man. In this sport, you know, guys of Canelo statue, guys of um, even Usyk too. Like those guys are picking who they're gonna fight at this point. Tank Davis, all those guys, man, they're picking who they're gonna fight. Devin Haney in a sense. But I just think at this point that's where they are. So you can't really chase them down. You just gotta hope that your name lands on that list of theirs, or that they give you the opportunity. Because I don't think the WBC has ordered Canelo's mandatory. I think even David Benavidez wasn't actually ordered. So even though Christian and Billy's got the interim, I don't think he'll get called. And yeah, we'll just have to see, man. We'll have to see where this all lands with the WBC at 168, because it seems like everybody at 168 except for the IBF is not willing to strip Canelo Alvarez. But hey, that's what you do when you get in 3% of the Faces Boxing purse. You just make sure you get that money. And I ain't mad at it, man, because at the end of the day, everything's about money. And that's what boxing's about. It's about the bread, trying to get the most. I hate the sanction bodies taking the 3% from the fighters. I don't agree with it, especially when your career is done. I don't even know if it's during your career too. I'd have to look into that. But okay, say you get hurt in the fight, is the WBC helping you with your bills, your health bills? The 3%, they gonna take it, but where does it go? It goes into their pockets. It doesn't really go to the fighters. So hey, it is what it is, man. I ain't mad at it. It's a hustle. Floyd Schofield. Wow. Shout out to Floyd Schofield Jr., man. I mean, yo, he made me eat my words. He made me eat some crow. Um, I didn't think the young man had it in him, man. I just didn't. I thought Tevin Farmer was too skilled, but that young man came out on a mission. He did. He came out on a mission. He went out to go do something. And he did it, man. He did it. Floyd Schofield Jr. looked good. Tevin Farmer, he was talking crazy in the press conference, saying, you kids watching, that's fine. They don't understand what's gonna happen to their daddy. Like that, yo, man, that's crazy. But Schofield went in there and flatlined him. Like Schofield went in there, connected early, and he made it look easy. A guy who like gave William Zepeda and Raymond Mulataya problems. Schofield made easy work of him. Easy work, man. And I don't know what's going on with Tevin Farmer moving forward. I don't know if he's gonna come right back or take some time. I think he should take some time. Go relax, man. You've been into four big fights, four essentially not, the last one you took damage in for real. But like the three before that were, they were tough fights, man. And then you come into the Schofield fight, thinking it looked like he thought he was just gonna walk over Schofield. And Schofield put the hands on him early, man. And the power, he showed the power is real. Schofield, I ain't never seen nobody knock Tevin Farmer around the ring like that. So I gotta put respect on Schofield Jr.'s name. And he got some power, man. He's sitting on something. And they calling out Tank Davis, which they should, because they high in the WBA. They can get that fight. They calling on Tank Davis to get a fight. I don't blame them. That's a money fight. That's a good fight, legacy fight. And there's other people in the division too that they could fight. Abdullah Mason has been on the table before. You got Shakur Stevenson who's there. Who else we got, man? 35. We got Raymond Mulataya, who's got the IBF title. You got Andy Cruz. You got all these other names that you can go out and fight for big fights as well. But I mean, obviously, Tank Davis is the meal ticket at 135, man. He the one that's gonna get you paid. So I get it, man. Schofield Jr. got to call out Tank Davis, especially after you KO Tevin Farmer, who's a guy a lot of us, knew was hunting down Tank Davis back in the day. So Schofield looking at Tank like, yo, bro, I took care of your leftovers. Like dudes you didn't even want to fight. I fought him and beat him. Now I get it. That ain't the same Tevin Farmer that's trying to fight Javante. But hey, man, it is Tevin Farmer at the end of the day, a former champ. You can never take that away from him. So Schofield, he gonna get his respect from me. And shout out to Schofield because he made me eat crow, like I said. But man, I didn't picture that knockout. I thought it was performance of the night for sure. I think he won. I would think he won the Jake Paul bonus or something like that. And that's good that we got bonuses in boxing. We need that more for these fighters. And Schofield put up a hell of a performance on a great card too. Like that MVP and Golden Boy card was probably the best card of the weekend, hands down. Upsets, knockouts, stuff that we didn't expect to happen. Zerto looked really good in his fight. I thought Zerto fought a good fight. He was just too good, too slick. You got to see the inactivity of the Cuban. The ring rust was definitely there. And then obviously the spark out. Schofield Jr. sparking out Tevin Farmer, man. That was huge. And the Avius Griffin getting stopped at the end of the fight. That was wild, bro. Like the whole card was good. And that's kind of what we're getting with these Jake Paul undercards. We're getting good undercards. So I mean, I'm not a huge Jake Paul fan by any means. I'm not like screaming from the top of the mountain for him. But you can't deny what he's doing, man. He's paying guys right and girls. He's definitely paying them right. He's got boxing buzzing with his undercards. Like his undercards are always good. His promotion is A1. Marketing is A1 with Jake Paul. If you won the MVP, you getting moved correctly. And yeah, man, if you lose, I mean, they doing things that the other promoters do. They just cutting guys. And this is what it is, man. This is the business of boxing. It is not for the weak. Don't be crying about it because it happens to everybody, man. You start losing fights, you getting cut. So shout out to Schofield Jr. Tevin Farmer was that first test for him under this new deal. He went in there and he blew him out the water, man. Now Oscar and Bernard and the rest of the team, they know what they're dealing with in Schofield, and they're probably happy because Ryan Garcia crashing out on Oscar. Duarte's looking pretty good, but he's going against another stablemate in Kenny Sims. So I mean, Golden Boy, they looking for a star. Virgil said his hand is hurting, so he gonna be out for a bit. Virgil Ortiz. I just think at this point in boxing, it's good for Golden Boy that they got this performance from Schofield. Zerto is still one of their top dudes for sure. Zerto Ramirez, unified champ at cruiserweight. He's still one of the guys. But Schofield Jr. has definitely made a case for being a next Golden Boy star. We'll see what they do with him next, man. I'm not sure where he goes next after this. I'm hoping he gets a Lucas Body fight. That's what I'm hoping for. But if the Lucas Body fight does not materialize, I'm not gonna be mad at it. Schofield and them, they talking about staying out for months, bro, to wait for Tank, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my dude, man. Four Corners Boxing. He said Kid Austin got busy quick. Hell yeah, man. He definitely did, bro. He said my boy Avius Griffin took a L, but he can bounce back. No, for sure, man. We're not gonna throw Avius away. But you see what MVP did. They threw him in tough right away. And we can't get mad at them for that because we want to see the young fighters challenge. So shout out to Avius Griffin, man. He is a good fighter. I picked him to win too, and he lost. I picked Avius Griffin to win. But yeah, you're right, man. We can't throw him away. Womack and then pick that young man up. Get some tune-ups, get the confidence back. Work on them things, and get back in there, man. Try to get your get back eventually, or maybe even just get back into the picture as a better fighter, man. But Avius Griffin, we are not throwing you away over here, bro. You good, man. We don't throw away fighters, man. Just like my dude, man, Ricardo Brown. We not throwing him away. He had a bad night at the office against Arsenbeck. Arsenbeck did what he was supposed to do. So now, you know what I'm saying? We just got to continue to roll with the punches of boxing because we're not going to sit over here and make excuses, man. We're not going to do that. So shout out to everybody for tuning in, man. I really appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all smash that likey button when you come in. And you know what I'm saying? Let's see what Turk got to say, bro. Big Turk.
Inside my heart, I want the fighters. Yes. I want to see the fighters.
Shout out to Turkey Al Sheik, man. He's always doing this thing, He's showing mad love to the boxing community and doing these big events. That's all we want to see, man, is the right fights. But as we can continue on, Jake Paul, he beat Cesar Chavez Jr. Man, called out AJ, called out Tank. Say he want to fight Badu Jack. I don't know, man. I don't know where we're gonna put Jake Paul at. I don't even know what his next fight is. Badu Jack, I think he's ordered to fight Newell in a rematch because the WBC. I think Noel's team appealed the fight from the first fight, and they felt like they won. And then the WBC, I think Mauricio said that rematch has to happen from the way his team scored the fight. And I don't know what goes next on for Jake Paul. I really don't. I don't know who he can fight that can keep up like the name status, right? See, that's a problem. Like Jake Paul is so big that he got to fight a name. He can't really fight just anybody and we gonna watch, especially when he's doing pay-per-views. It's got to be somebody with a name. So I don't know if you could jump into this AJ fight. I don't think that's smart. If I had to choose, it'd probably be Deontay Wilder. Wilder in his last fight, he didn't look as crazy as AJ did. AJ got knocked out by Dubois, but like the fight before that, I think was Francis Ngannou, and AJ stopped Ngannou. I just don't know if Jake Paul wants to go that route just yet. Wilder, his fight was a little different with the stoppage. He stopped dude on his feet. It wasn't a stoppage that we were typical of seeing. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what's really happening, really. But oh shoot, sorry, y'all. Just got distracted. Just got a message. But yeah, man, we just don't know what's going on with Jake Paul next. I think Jake Paul is in a tough position because, like I said, he's had to fight names. I just don't know what name you gonna fight next. I know they're probably banking on John Pascal to win so they can fight him for the interim WBC title. But this is nuts, man. WBC, they about to rank Jake Paul, man. They are gonna rank him. Shout out to Phil Burt. He said, let me give him a horn, he said, Jake Paul versus Vidal sells out 0-2. And it's a pay-per-view in the UK. Okay. Vidal Riley, I think that's who he's talking about, who just beat Chevion Clark on the Eubank Bend. Okay. Yeah, wasn't he a trainer? He was a trainer for KSI, I believe. So I mean there is some history, right? Between Jake Paul and Vidal. They probably have seen each other, cross each other's paths before, looking at it like, yo, I can't get KSI. I'm gonna beat KSI's trainer. Nah, I can see that route. I could definitely see that. I'm not a fan of it, but I can see it. Vidal, is he a cruiserweight? Yeah, he's a cruiserweight. He's definitely a cruiserweight. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I just don't know where Jake Paul goes next, man. Jake Paul, he got to fight somebody who's a name in order to stay, I don't want to say relevant, but y'all know what I mean. But like, if we gonna tune in and watch a Jake Paul fight, if the undercard ain't fire, he gotta fight a name, and that's kind of been his thing. The undercards have been good, man. I'll say that about the Jake Paul cards. The undercards have been good. The Netflix one was really good. The undercard of that. Um, this one, uh, was good. This one was good. I'm not gonna lie. Avius Griffin fight was great. The Floyd Schofield fight was great. Zerto, getting the win. That was good. I like that stuff. And Currell, he got a stoppage too. Currell, sorry. He got the stoppage. I never heard that dude before, but I think he's high on Golden Boy standards. They like him. So I guess yeah, that was a good card. All considering it was the best card of the weekend for sure. That's for sure. I'm not even gonna front off that, bro. That was the best card of the weekend. I enjoyed it. I think as far as it goes with moving forward, Jake Paul, he got to continue to give us good cards in order for us to tune in. That's how you get the boxing fans involved. The card is good. They will definitely do it, man. They'll definitely do it. Let's make that doable. We understand. All right, sorry y'all. I just had to read some. They just threw in an extra practice for my son's baseball team. Yeah, man. Basically, so yeah, Jake Paul basically gets a win over Chavez. He was gassing at the end of the fight. Chavez is obviously not who he even was at middleweight. He's definitely a shell of himself. 40 years old almost, but nonetheless, I'm not going to take nothing away from Jake Paul. Jake Paul's just doing what he's supposed to be doing as a fighter. He beating the names in front of him. He's strategically fighting these guys, and that's what everybody does in boxing, really. You get the few odd guys who take risks, but as far as I'm concerned, when you're like 12, 13 fights, it's all about timing your opponents and strategically beating them. Finding them at the right time, and Jake Paul and his team, shout out to them. They've done a great job of finding a good name at the right time for Jake Paul to beat. And this was no different with Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr., whatever, first 8 rounds was barely throwing punches. Like, this shit was ridiculous, man. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I don't know why he was so gun shy. Maybe Jake Paul got power for real, maybe. But he wasn't throwing punches. He just wasn't throwing punches. He wasn't doing it for me. I don't know about y'all, man, but Chavez just showed me he was shot. He didn't want no parts of that. But man, that was bad. That was bad for Chavez Jr. and the whole community. Cause like that arena was screaming for him to get something going, man. They were rooting for Chavez up in there. Shout out to Tech Dumb Dad. What's going on, my guy? Salute Ryan. Time for Jake to step up now. Someone ranked in the bottom half of the top 15. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's not gonna happen. He's not gonna fight none of those guys in the top 15. I think like Jake Paul was banking on John Pascal to win this weekend so he can have the WBC interim and then they can fight Pascal. But those plans didn't go as planned as Michael Selak of Poland. He stopped John Pascal in 4 rounds. And he won the cruiserweight interim title, and that title should have never been on the line to start with. The one guy's ranked number 5 and Pascal's ranked number 10. So, it's not even the top dudes in the division fighting for it. Respectfully. My guy Ryan Rosecki, he got to be pissed right now. Even though he's the mandatory for Badu Jack, there's a possibility that can be put on hold because of Jake Paul. And like I say that to say, like Jake Paul he's a name in the sport. So when you a name, the sanctioning bodies, they gonna move a certain way for the names, man. That's just what it is. We can't be getting mad about it. You know what I'm saying? We can't be holding our heads. It's boxing, man. Politics. It's all about money. And Jake Paul, he brings in a big audience. He's a huge name in the sport. The man brought Netflix here with him. You know what I'm saying? Like these sanctioning bodies, they not gonna be like, yo, Jake, you gotta go fight one of our ranked fighters. Nah, they gonna tell him like, oh, you fighting with us? We just need your 3%, bro. Go fight whomever you want to fight. Like, we're not gonna force you to fight anybody. Cause you Jake Paul. We want to make sure you good. We're gonna please you, man. And that's the scary part of the sport, but it's also the reality. When you got a name, you can control a lot of things on the board, man. You can control the way your career is moved and the way it's perceived. You can go get the certain fighters at the right time. Even Badu Jack. I like Badu Jack, but he's not the same Badu Jack a couple years ago, man. Fighting Marcus Brown, that's not the same guy at all. Or Adonis Stevenson. He's definitely way older, slower, and he hasn't fought a lot either. Like I think he had almost a 2-year hiatus before he fought back there in May. So, Badu's also on the cusp of being, out of the sport, I think. But I think he'd give Jake Paul a fight. It's a money fight for Badu Jack. You gotta think at this point that's all he wants. But yo, it is what it is, man. I can't get mad, man. I can't get mad at it because I see the whole play and it's sad, but Badu Jack, he he's a prize fighter at this point. He needs money, man. I'm sure he's not trying to go undisputed because a Jay Apataya fight is not more lucrative than a Jake Paul fight. He said Jack on the way out, perfect for Jake. Yeah. No, I agree, man. I think Badu Jack is kind of over the hill. I think he's older. He's not as sharper as he used to be. He's obviously still dangerous. He showed definitely that he still got it in the Noel fight. But if Jake Paul can use his youth to his advantage, then that fight may look a little different. It may look a little different. I'm not 100% sure on it. Yeah, Badu Jack is 41 years old, yo. He is 41, so he can, I don't know when his birthday is, but he can possibly be 42 if he walks in the ring with Jake Paul. All depending on when Jake Paul can get him in the ring, right? But we'll have to see how that all works out because I'm not convinced that Jake Paul is gonna go fight anybody in the top 50. I'm just not, man. I just think he's gonna strategically do what he's doing to fight, not even fight, but to get name, value, people in around him against him. And yeah, I think it may be heavyweight he goes to next. I think it's probably somebody of a statue of a Deontay Wilder, maybe Ngannou. Ngannou doesn't have a lot of boxing experience. He did put Tyson Fury on the ground, but he doesn't have boxing experience. I just think the Anthony Joshua call out's a bit too premature right now. I don't think he fights Anthony Joshua. I think like Anthony Joshua, even though Dubois stopped him, he showed his boxing ability against Nagano like he did. He flatlined him, bro. He did. And I think at this point AJ's kind of like, mm, I like to beat up on that dude. And he's like 60 pounds heavier than Jake, man. Like AJ's not a small dude. He's a bigger guy, man. He gonna coming in at heavyweight. He can come in at whatever he want to come in at. But we'll see, man. I don't know where he goes, bro. Jake Paul next, but as long as he's paying the MVP promotion fighters and showing them love and doing what he's doing that way, I don't care about Jake Paul's circus fight because I know the undercard gonna be good. So as long as the undercard is good, go have your circus fight, man. Go do what you gotta do. Jake can fight older, washed up boxers or former UFC dudes if he keeps putting on good cards. Yeah, man. Nah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I don't care who he fights in his main event, as long as the 3, 4 undercard, whatever, how many long they gonna go. As long as those are good fights, good names. Ain't even gotta be good names, but just good fights, man. Good matchmaking. I'm with it, man. I'll watch it. That's how I felt about the card this weekend. Like I felt like I didn't buy the pay-per-view for Chavez and Jake Paul. I bought that for the undercard, man. Scrappy Ramirez was on the prelims. Like I said, Avius Griffin, this was his first fight with MVP. I wanted to see how he was gonna perform. We had Schofield Jr. and Tevin Farmer, which should have been the co-main. That fight had so much buzz. It was not the co-main. And Zurdo, man, Zurdo Ramirez defending his unified titles against his mandatory. Something Jay Apataya hasn't done yet. Defend against your mandatory. Zurdo did that, got his mando out the way. So, it's up to Jay Apataya now to go deal with his side of the street and his side of his belts. So he ain't got no mandatories blocking this unification of undisputed, man. Well, I think you still got the WBC with Badu Jack, so maybe that's a possible Zurdo opponent, man. Shout out to Just Do Boxing, man. What's going on? My guy Just Do. Make sure y'all go check him out. He go live every day pretty much at 4 p.m., man. He on. Just Do Boxing. Go check him out. He said Tech Dumb Dad said the real main event was the undercard. Absolutely. The undercard of the MVP and Golden Boy was definitely good. Like I said earlier, just a lot of unexpected stuff. Us as boxing fans, we love to see that. We're not always rooting for the underdog, but when the underdogs win, we love it, man. I love it. Shoot. I get a kick out of it because it adds a new player to the game. It may show us something we never seen in a fighter before that we needed to see. And then the guy who lost, we want to see how he's gonna bounce back. We really want to see how he's gonna get back up and go forward, man. And the guy who won, now you got to show us you the real deal, and this just wasn't a fluke night, man. You got to really go out here and put in the work and keep going down the gauntlet. So I mean, it's always nice when we get an upset every here and there. Avius Griffin, great fighter, man. Fell short. I hope the brother come back, man. I hope you don't sit down too long. Hopefully take a little bit of time off, whatever you need. But I think he should either get in before the end of the year here, maybe December, or straight early, early next year, 2026. It's got to be January. He got to kick off. But he can't sit down too long, man, and vent on this. Like, he's young. He's young enough to go get that back. He's also young enough to keep moving forward. And we can't define these fighters by one loss, man. We just got to stop doing that as fans. Like, we got to stop throwing these guys away when they taking risk. Like, a lot of people out here are, I'll get into a little later with the Haney and Norman thing, but people are actually like saying, like, I don't know why Devin would sign up for that. Like, it's not real. Like, a lot of people were saying that. They just didn't think it was real that Devin Haney would sign up for that fight when, the whole history of Devin Haney doesn't show us of him ducking any fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to show me the name he said no to. That's what y'all need to do. So I'm just happy that Avius Griffin, he's home safe. He's good. Let's get to back to the grind, brother. Get back in the gym and yeah, get back on the call MVP up. Say, yo, man, I know I slipped up, but I'm ready to go for the next one. Yeah, like, yo, let's get back in there. Let's get this work. Shout out to the Bronze Bomber. Came back, Deontay Wilder. I don't know what y'all think, man. Like I said, I think Wilder was over the hill. I still feel that same way after watching this fight. I know he got the stoppage, but it was like he didn't like knock dude out. My man got retired on his feet, which is not Wilder's style. You know what I'm saying? Like Wilder used to putting dudes out on the ground. But hey, you gotta win. We can't be getting mad at Wilder for that. It's his first time in the ring, minus Malik Scott. And well, minus Malik Scott in a while, I should say. He's he's had most of his career with Mark Breland. But I just think like Wilder didn't look like that 2018 Wilder, man, that dangerous man. I think that's past him. And I think I just don't know if he has enough in the tank to be that guy. To go ahead and get back on that kill streak. You know what I'm saying? Oh, sorry, YouTube. On a live streak. Don't flag me for that. But I just don't think he's on that right now. I don't think he's on that time, man. I think that that's a problem for Deontay Wilder, man. Imagine take dumb dad said, imagine if fans were calling fighters trash after a loss during the 60s and 90s boxing. This started in the 2000s, it seems. No, you're right, man. It never happened in the 60s and the 90s, and that's why we got guys like the dude right above me, Roberto Duran. We got guys like that who took a risk, man, for sure. And even Marvin Hagler too. He took a risk as well. But yeah, man, these guys they want to protect their records, but I feel like there's kind of a tide changing here. The younger guys seem to be at least more interested in the fights, right? The risk fights. It's good that we got Haney and Norman and them. We got Abdullah talking about fighting Keyshawn. Like those are signs of good things to come. The guys want to fight. I think also with the combination of Turkey Al-Sheikh being here, it's a perfect storm because now you got the guy who can make the risky fights for those guys. Before it was the promoters and then the managers were almost like blocking the fights because they don't want their product to get damaged. So they make up the whole cross the street thing, man. That's a gimmick. If you believe that, I feel bad for you, man. Then you being scammed because literally any promoter who sends his fighter across the street gets 20% of his pay. So you telling me I don't need to pay this guy money to go over there and fight. I'm gonna get 20% of whatever he makes. I don't gotta pay for him. I don't gotta pay for his opponent. I don't gotta pay the arena. It was all a gimmick, anyways. The whole network gangbanging thing. Whoever goes with that, bro, y'all in a gimmick, bro, and it's showing more than ever. Especially now the fact that there's only like the Zone and Amazon. You know what I'm saying? They literally most of them is in one spot now. There's no gimmicks here. Y'all need to just pay attention to this. What's going on here? As far as the streaming, because that's where boxing should be at. We're kind of behind a bit on the other sports, but as far as the streaming, there's no network that's gonna say, especially on streaming, it's like, oh man, we don't want that fighter over here because he's a part of that network. Nah, it's a streaming games now. If y'all don't see it with the NBA, what they doing, they making whoever got the highest bid get these games, man. They spreading them out. It's not a good thing for the fans because now we got to buy a package from here, we got a package for there just to watch some games. But man, we've been dealing with this in boxing for so long. We kind of immune to this, and I think y'all need to stop with the whole gang banging networks because it don't work, man. It's a gimmick. It's not real. It's not a real thing. You guys have made it a real thing. Well, hey, we'll see. Tech Dumb Dad said Wilder looked better than his last several fights, but he will never be that guy again. Silk pajamas and age. No, you're right, man. That guy's gone. The killer, the unalive Wilder is gone. These young dudes don't care. Uh, yeah, NL. They want to fight the best. The pendulum is definitely swinging. The pendulum, sorry. No, it is, bro. It is. Like with guys, like I'm saying, even like Cromel Moulton and Saquon Moses, when they had that little meetup at the amateurs, those are two dudes who have a beef from the amateurs and probably very, very good prospects right now. If we can get that fight soon, bro, this is what I tell all these young fighters. You can fight now. You lose, bro. Okay, say you lose, go back down a bit, take a couple fights. Next thing you know, if you have good performances in your next few fights, the fans are gonna demand the rematch. The fans will be like, "Yo, you look much better. Give him a second shot. We want to see it again." Especially if it was a good first fight. If it's a good first fight, it's gonna be an immediate rematch. You're not even gonna need to go back to the drawing board and go back down. If it's good, the fans will demand it again to see it. Especially if there's a little bit of controversy, you're gonna get the second fight, man. You're gonna get back in blood right away. But the problem is a lot of these guys are afraid to take a risk because of their managers, the promoters, what they're saying in their ear, about your value. Man, if you don't get out of here with that, like the value is in the fights. The value is in who you beat. Really, at the end of the day, you can get a win and a loss. If you like, are we gonna act like Lamont Roach is not here because what he did in the Tank Davis fight? Now we know what he did in the Tank Davis fight, and that's why we respect it, man. So I think we just need to chill, man. Like I think these dudes are taking the right steps, especially the younger cats. They trying to be somebody in this game, man. They trying to do some things, and I'm loving it. I'm loving all of it, bro. Like I think for sure these fighters are gonna be fighting each other at a younger age, doing things at a younger age that these other guys before them haven't really been doing, man. And anybody who out there is a fan of their fighter taking fights, risky fights, man, it's gonna be easy for you to get behind them at any point because you understand, hey man, my fighter be fighting. Shout out to my guy Ty in the building. What's going on, brother? Big Ty, man. Your man Schofield and them got a big win, yo. That was dope. But yeah, the big announcement of the weekend, well, yesterday, uh, Brian Norman Jr., Devin Haney, November. It's all good. It's all good. We here now. You know what I'm saying? They said that Devin Haney didn't want the fight. And Brian Norman Jr. is too dangerous. Nah, that's good. You need danger. That's what sells fights. When there's no danger, I don't know why you would want to go watch a fight that you know who's gonna win. Like that make no sense. Why we want to watch a fight or pay for a pay-per-view where we already know who's gonna win? It make no sense, like, literally. So like when Turk Al-Sheikh came out and said Devin Haney fights whoever, that should have killed y'all whole narrative of this is cap. Bill's just capping, Devin's capping. Why would he do that? That should have killed y'all whole narrative, even though it didn't take that, because all you got to do is look down Devin Haney's career and just tell me who he ducked. Just tell me who he said no to. Because you can't say Tio, because when the Tio fight rolled back around where they're gonna make triple the money, it was Tio who said no and Devin Haney who had signed. So you can't say that. But hey, man, Lamont very well could be Tank's Vernon Force. Oh, you're right. You might have Tank's number, and that's all right because Tank Davis be dropping people. He said Debo Devin, aka Mr. Smoke. Nah, man, I give Devin Haney all the respect, today, for taking that fight with Brian Norman Jr. and Brian Norman Jr. I got to hats off to him because my man hasn't had a hometown fight yet. And I thought maybe they'd swing around and do the whole hometown fight right now, coming from Japan. But nah, he going right back to Riyadh. He going right back on the road with his title. But shout out to Norman Jr. He a throwback fighter, man, for that. And he taking on his best opposition yet, an elite fighter in Devin Haney. So now he gonna get a possible legacy win. You know, if you beat Devin Haney, you're beating one of the better fighters in boxing today. You know, if you stop him, that's a statement win. So I mean, for Brian Norman Jr., man, they gotta be happy about this. They gotta be happy for this sign up. They coming in to do something that hasn't been done. Stop Devin Haney. You know, Ryan Garcia hit Devin Haney a lot with them PED punches, but he didn't stop him. You imagine if Norman Jr. stops him? Bro, that's a statement. That's something that ain't never been done. And then if Devin Haney can come in here and give us a master class, yo, shout out to him. He's a 3-division champ if he wins. 3-division champ. And then beats a dangerous guy in Brian Norman Jr., who some people think boots duck now. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's crazy, but I don't know how people hate. I don't even know how people could talk down on this fight. I don't know how people could say we didn't want this fight. I just be wondering what y'all want for real then. 'Cause this is everything you need. 2 young fighters, 2 undefeated fighters, one guy going for his 3rd division win, another guy trying to get his best win to prove that he is of that level. This is everything we want to see. What do you mean? But hey, man, some people you can't satisfy people, especially everybody, man. You just can't. And you just got to understand, man, it's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. It's all a gimmick. People just wanna, they just want to see fights that they know their fighter gonna win. They don't want to see their fighter tested. They don't want to see their fighter in danger. They want to see him in safe fights. Well, you know what they say, man. If you're scared, go to church, bro. For real, for real. Sometimes you got to tell these young guys to go ahead and fight. No, Todd, you have to, bro. You have to, because they gonna make the next wave. Like, they don't even know, man. But this can be an epic fight. This can be a great fight. This can come right down to the wire, and we buzzing about it the rest of the year. And they so young they can run it back. They so young we gonna see what they're gonna do after. One of them can go back and win another title. Like, there's so many things that can happen afterwards. You know what I'm saying? If the guys just fight, man. But they gotta be willing to fight,
Yeah.
Because if they not willing to fight, you know what I'm saying? We gonna look back on their resume and be like, yo, what the hell did you do?
Yeah.
But hey, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not too crazy about it, but you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get knocked out like your daddy used to. Oh man, nah, don't be doing that now. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Nah, we ain't doing that, bro. Shout out to Senior, Norman Senior, and Bill Haney, man. That build up about to be nuts. No, I think Bill Haney gonna go crazy with it. I think Norman Jr., he gonna be cool for a bit, but he gonna spaz out. I think he gonna snap. He gonna get tired of Bill. He just gonna snap. Call for a Bill Haney fight. Because he gonna have Bill up in the interviews like this, bro.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Talking a whole bunch of nonsense. Yo, shout out to them, man. Shout out to the whole community for getting that fight done. Shout out to the boxing boys for, spearheading it, man. They spearhead that fight, bro. I don't care what nobody else says. They was putting pressure. And them 2 young men, they want that fight too. So shout out to them, man. They made the fight happen. They signed on the dotted line. They ready, man. They ready for war. And that's what we like. Shout out to my dude Big 12, man, in the building. What's going on, brother? Carter Brown, things didn't go as planned. But you know what it is, man. It's boxing, man. This stuff happens. It's also life. Everything we got planned is not gonna happen in life. But this is why you get back up and keep moving, bro. This is that sport. So my man Ricardo Brown, yo, shout out to him from Jamaica. He's achieved so much already, bro. Just take a little rest at home, get back in that gym, bro. And let's get back to it, bro. Let's get back on the road and do our thing. Ty, he said, nah, I got more respect for dudes taking chances than sitting sidelines yapping about what they not going to fight. Yo, who they not gonna fight? Sorry, man. He said T.O. in brackets, and yeah, it's actually ironic that Devin Haney stole. He didn't even steal Teofimo's fight, but like Teofimo Lopez was supposedly supposed to fight Brian Norman Jr., and because the fight was in L.A., he didn't want to take the fight, so that fight didn't materialize, which is just bananas. It's crazy to think. Like, what do you mean, bro? Nah, man. Nah, man. Like, just get the frig out of here with that. Because for real, like my man Devin Haney done showed you already. He signed the dotted line to fight Brian Norman Jr. in Riyadh, not even in America, in Riyadh. You know what I'm saying? My man Devin Haney said he don't care about location, and Brian Norman Jr. said the same thing. He said I don't care about location either. I've been to Japan. We're going to Riyadh now. Those guys are real fighters, man. But I know, like, Teofimo Lopez, his whole turn on the whole Haney thing was Turkey offered him less money than was spoken about. I don't know how much truth there is to that. I ain't never seen Turkey come out and say he a liar. So I gotta sit on the Teo fence because sometimes Turk be coming out, and fact checking dudes for real. He ain't never fact checked Teo yet. So I gotta agree with him. I gotta be like, okay, maybe Turkey Al-Sheikh did offer Teo less money, and he said, "Nah, I'm not taking it for less money." Maybe he stood on something, but that still don't make sense to why you were screaming for Boots Ennis so much. What the Boots fight was gonna give you the 11 million, or who wasn't gonna sell you short on that either. I don't know, man. I just think Teofimo Lopez dropped the ball here. Devin Haney done picked it up, and he running with the rock, bro. He running with it. He fumbled the bag, bro. Ty, he said Matt Book had that Brock Lesnar twitch. Nah, for real. Shout out to my guy, Heavy Bag TV. What's going on, brother? In the building. He said world beaters. Hell yeah. That's what they doing, man. They going on the road. Brian Norman Jr. defending that strap on the road again. Yeah, man. That's what we love to see. My man Ty said Teo a chump. Why petition for super status via WBO if you're not going to use those privileges? Why call for Boots and not fight Norman Jr.? Yeah, man. Yeah, I be saying that all the time. Like, he literally could have used his WBO to go up and fight a 47-pounder in Norman Jr. If he really wanted the Boots fight, that would have been more incentive for Boots to stay at 47 and fight Teo, because now he gets another shot at a title. I think Boots just looked at it like, I gotta wait for Norman Jr. to get back, and I gotta wait for this Barrios and Pacquiao situation. What the hell am I doing waiting all this long out for to do another major weight cut? Nah, bump that. Let's go to 54, man, where they say real smoke is at. I think the smoke is at 54 for Boots anyways. But I'm not sitting here gonna say that he ducked Teofimo Lopez, man. That's stupid. Like, that's not even real talk. What did Teofimo Lopez bring to the Boots fight? He brought nothing but a name. You know what I'm saying? A little name. He ain't bring nothing else, bro. But hey, they'll tell you different over there. Shout out to Heavy Bag TV. He said he might run with it right into that left hook. Yeah, I mean, he might, bro. He might. But I don't know. We gotta see how the fight plays out, man. Because I mean, it could be a situation to where, Brian Norman lands the hook and doesn't hurt Dev. And then we gotta ask the question of, I think, like, I've never heard people say it, but can Brian Norman Jr. outbox Devin Haney? Like, what if he hits him and he's still alive, man? He's still good. or stays alive, doesn't knock him down, doesn't get 10-8 rounds. Can he outbox Devin Haney in a 12-round fight? And I think they gotta prepare for that. They can't just prepare for a knockout because knockouts are not easy to get in boxing, especially at the top of the top level. It's tough to knock these dudes out. I mean, we saw how Devin Haney was fighting in his last fight. He's a hard dude to hit. Yeah, man. He's a hard dude to hit, yo. Not even Ty said, not even a name with Tio. I still remember being at the Hulu theater and looking behind myself and not seeing that he won. You crazy? Was you at the back, bro? Nah, joking. Nah, that's wild. That must have been that Josh Taylor fight. Cause like I remember that Josh Taylor fight. Like I live in Toronto, so it's probably like an 8-hour drive to New York City. And I was actually thinking about driving down for that. I was like, yo, let me see what the tickets is like. And this was like day of. And they was on the low, bro. There was lots of tickets available. I was thinking about buying a ticket and just driving down to New York City to go watch that fight. But I was like, man, then you gotta pay for the hotels and all the other stuff. I'm not staying in Manhattan. It ain't cheap, bro. Let's be real in the building. No, he said, what's going on, my man? My man Heavy Bag TV, he said, I love boots, but don't tell us you want it undisputed and then get one unification and bounce. You knew you was too big. Yeah, he did. Nah, he did. I think if the timing was right, like I said, if somebody was available, he would have fought somebody. I think if Norman was available and he did go to Japan, they would have fought right then. But the timing just wasn't there. And I get it, bro. Like even after the Stanionis fight, he should have never doubled down and said that he was gonna do it if he couldn't. But I'm not gonna hold Boots' feet to the fire if he go up to 54 and undispute, because I think that's a better division. That's a tougher division. So I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. My man Just Do Boxing, he said Norman's better than Ryan Garcia, more disciplined and skilled. I think if his left hook touches Haney, he's in trouble. Yeah, I agree. I disagree with you in the sense of the left hook. I think Ryan Garcia got the fastest left hook in boxing and probably the hardest left hook in boxing. I don't know who else hitting harder and faster and accurate than Ryan Garcia with that hook. So and then I gotta see Norman. See, this is what I'm saying. Just do like we're gauging Norman off who he's fighting. He ain't been in there with no elite fighter. I'm sorry, Jin Sasaki ain't elite. Quavo's not elite. Santillan not elite. Them dudes is not elite. They don't got elite footwork. So we got to see how Brian Norman Jr. in there with elite footwork. So that's why I'm saying like this is a huge fight for Norman Jr. I think so. Like this is his coming out party. Like this is a signature win if you can get it. This is the guy. We're gonna look back and say, yo, remember when he beat Devin Haney? That's the fight we're gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about Quavos, Santillan, all these other dudes. If he can get Devin Haney out of there, that's the signature win for him. So yeah, this is his moment to prove it that he belongs on the stage, bro. And this is what I want to see these young guys do. Go out here and prove it. And Brian Norman Jr., he definitely one of them ones, man, because he signed up for this. He signed up for this. My man Heavy Bag TV said, facts, Just Do. Norman about to shock the world. Yeah, I hope so, man. That'd be nice. We need new players in boxing. We need new names, new superstars. You can't have the same like 3-4 guys. Yeah, my man Ty talking to Heavy Bag. He said it hits different when you as a fighter have one goal in mind, but your promoter publicly had alternative plans. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I be saying, man. These promoters and managers, they just really they like to mess the game up, bro. That's what they really do. They mess the game up because they get the fans thinking that the fighters don't want to fight. And I'm just like, bro, I don't know. You speak to enough fighters, you understand these dudes, they not scared of each other, man. They not. There's very few dudes that really scary, but a lot of these guys, they in the sport for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They got that mentality that nobody can beat them. And you gotta have that. You can't if you don't have that, you don't belong in this sport. You're gonna get hurt. So I think a lot of the fans, they gotta speak to fighters more to understand they mental. And you'll see, bro. I don't care if Devin Haney pulled a TK and did the race with his win. Yo, you ain't gonna do that running shit, bro. I'm telling you. I think it's gonna be a different fight. I think he'll fight I think Devin Haney will fight in spurts, man. I think he'll fight in the pocket in spurts. I think he'll obviously use a ring. That'll be his advantage. But shout out to Norman Jr., man. You gonna have to go get the rabbit, bro. I rock with Dev, but if he turn into another Ramirez performance, count me out. The Devin Haney business. Yeah, man. A lot of people didn't like that. But Ramirez, I don't know, even when Ramirez had Devin Haney in the corners, he wasn't punching. Like, I don't know what the heck, like, what's wrong with him? It make you think, like, oh, did Devin Haney hit him to make him respect him? Because that's what it looked like to me. Like, he was respecting Devin Haney way too much. Like, you got dude in the corner, just go deal with him, bro. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't make the rules. I don't get it. All I know is that yeah, Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney, to me, is a 50-50 fight based off styles. Nothing else. Based off styles. Ty said B. Norman Jr. better catch him in traffic, but I personally don't think we finna see the 100-meter dash or the 4x1 relay. B. Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney finna be a classic. No, I think so, bro. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think like it's gonna be hats off to either guy. I think we all gonna sit down, winner or loser. We gonna respect both these dudes. We gonna look at them both like they both stock gonna go up, man. Obviously, the winner gonna go into another stratosphere. Even though I look at it like, okay, what does a win for Devin Haney do? Like, if he beats Brian Norman Jr., yes, he's a 3 division champ, but there's gonna be those fickle fans, those weird fans out there who hate Devin Haney. They're gonna say, "Well, Brian Norman Jr. was too green. He didn't beat nobody. Well, Brian Norman Jr. He wasn't ready. He's still young. And oh, why didn't you wait till he got seized?" Like, they're gonna be those people. If Devin Haney wins, and then if he wins, using the ring, they're gonna be like, oh, all Devin Haney does is run, bro. They're not gonna give no responsibility to the other dude. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't. I don't know, man. I look at the optics, and I'm like, man, this is really a more of a situation for Brian Norman Jr. Like, if he wins, he benefits more. If Devin wins, Devin just becomes a 3 division champ because the people, they wear it, bro. When it comes to Devin Haney, I never seen fans like this since Floyd, man. They just don't give this dude credit for nothing. Like, they don't give him credit, bro. And I feel like it's gonna be kind of the same thing. They're not gonna give him credit for beating Brian Norman Jr. There's so much to gain for both guys. Yeah, Ty, you think so, man? I don't know, man. Just do. He said, I don't think Haney can beat Norman fighting the way he did against Ramirez. Yeah, man, that'll be up to Norman, because all he would have to do is cut the ring off and make sure he's punching when he gets him in the corners. Rewatch that Ramirez fight and put it on 2.5 speed. Fast forward, you'll get the best perspective. I swear. Nah, man. I mean, Devin was moving a lot. He was. He was moving a lot. He definitely was. But I mean, I can't sit here and act like that's been every Devin Haney fight, because it just hasn't been. That's the only one that was like that. So I don't know. I can't say the man's whole body of work is based off one performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen Devin Haney fighting with Linares. Like, I've seen him fighting with Lomachenko, fighting with Regis, guys who were punchers at that division. So, there's so much to gain for both guys and legitimize the legacy for the winner. Yeah, yeah, Ty, you feel like that because you was a Devin Haney fan. But like, I'm just saying, for the people who are not Devin Haney fans, they're gonna find ways to diminish the win. And for Brian Norman Jr., it's kind of like the total opposite. Like he needs a signature win. He needs the elite win. So he definitely needs that name. So it kind of it solidifies Brian Norman Jr. if he wins. Yeah, B. Norman would have that valid name on his resume with the win to push him into a conversation he belongs in. No, I agree, man. I agree. The fight for me, as I sit back, I'm like, it's more beneficial for Brian Norman Jr. But you're right, man. Devin Haney gets another belt. He's a 3 division champ. It makes you think, where does he go next? Does he fight Rolly Romero? And same with Norman Jr. If they win, whoever wins, we got to also figure out, is there a rematch clause in this fight? We've never heard the terms. We just know they agreed. But is there a rematch clause? I'm guessing there is no rehydration clause or nothing like that. It's probably a 47-pound fight, right on the limit there. So there's probably no weight clauses, which is nice. But I wonder if there's a rematch clause. And if it's for Norman Jr., which I think it should be for Norman, because like, I don't want to lose my strap and then Devin Haney go run off with it. Nah, we gotta get it back. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like, go the Eddie Hearn route. Don't let anybody run away with your strap, man. Always make sure you got a rematch clause in place. So I hope Adrian Clark, who's AC, shout out to him. He's Norman Jr.'s manager. I'm pretty sure he probably already put that in place, that they need to have a rehydration clause. And yeah, man, that'd be good if we can get a second fight, winner or loser, right? But I could also see someone claiming a win for Haney would be a superficial under the context of Norman's prior matchmaking, and that would be nasty work. Nah, man, that's what I'm telling you. That's what they gonna do, bro. And I only say that to see, because like, when this whole fight got brought up, Ty, like, everybody was like, "Oh, the Haneys are capping. They're not gonna fight somebody like Norman Jr. who can crack." And I'm just like, that's the optics of y'all. Y'all think that these guys not gonna fight danger ever. They just gonna run around not fighting the tough fights. But these fickle fans will make you think that, because of the way they were talking. They were saying, "No, this fight's not real. This is cap. This is all clout chasing." Nah, man. Turkey Al Sheik done told y'all. He didn't want. I think it was Turkey Al Sheik that asked Haney if he wanted to fight Norman. I think he said, "Yo, you want to fight that guy?" And Deb probably said, "Yeah." And Turk said, "All right, I respect this dude. He not giving me the runaround." Because it sound like, before Norman Jr. even went to Japan, like, they was already thinking about Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of feeling like it was already in the works. But hey, it is what it is, man. But y'all, make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all share, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna do that glove giveaway right now. For the members, I only had a couple 4 paid members, bro. But hey, that's all right. They gonna get gloves. So we're gonna do that little raffle right now. Let me see if I can share the screen. And then I'm gonna have to find a way to get, a good thing I know most of these brothers, so I think I know them all, actually. So we'll be good. So we got Half Boxing, Doc Boxing Talk, LA, and GMT Sports. They are paid members, and their name's gonna be in the raffle. And we got the Devin Haney glove and the Wilder glove, man. So I mean, I'll let the first name pick which glove they want, and then the remainder one will go to the other person. That's just how we're gonna do. But yeah, let's spin away, bro. Spin away. Let's see how I do this, bro. Pretty sure I just hit. All right, the first winner is Half Boxing, it looks like. Yeah. I'll remove his name. So we got Half Boxing. Let me freaking make sure I note that down somewhere so I don't forget. Half Boxing. Shout out to him. You're gonna get the first pick of the gloves. I'll send those out this week. And the next one. Oh, My man GMT Sports. I think he's in AZ, I think. So I'll send that out to him. Whatever other glove. Shout out to all those people who tune in, man. Shout out to those guys who became members this month. Shout out to everybody, man. Appreciate the support, man. My man Ty, he said, kind of reminds me of the optics of Dennis Baranchek prior and after the Keyshawn fight, where some were giving credit and others said he was, yeah, because he was too small. That was the whole thing, man. That was the whole thing, man. Dope Bill. Appreciate you just to this day. Word, yo, that Wilder, eh? Finna re-up. Appreciate you, Ty. Nah, man. Nah, for real. I'm gonna have something next month too for like people as well. You know, I got some like shirts here and stuff. Shout out to Raffle Boxing tuning in, man. They always show me love. You know, Russ Amber and them people. But yeah, man, I'm about to head on out. Got the kids home for the summer, you know what it is. But I appreciate the bill, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you share the channel. Subscribe to the channel, man. I'm trying to go live again on Wednesday, probably around the same time. I'll do the afternoon. And yeah, man. Show some love. Peace.